Hi guys, my name is Teagan. Welcome to this video. I have not done an intro so formal in such a long time. My name's Teagan. Litten, like kitten, but with the L. You're gonna want to remember the name, guys. I go to College of Charleston. I'm going to be a senior this semester. It's spring semester, so fingers crossed we'll be graduating in the May time. I'm a year ahead of my grade because I took college classes when I was in high school, which I'm gonna like kind of touch on a little bit in this video. I'm currently in Spain and you can follow me on all my other socials. They'll all be linked below. So I post everything on everywhere else except YouTube, but I want to get back into posting more on YouTube. It just takes a lot more commitment than any other social media, so it's something I need to work on. Since I literally haven't used my camera in so long, I forgot how to use it. Great learning experience. We're back. So hopefully everything is up to par. In case you were wondering, I'm a communications major. I'm not minoring in anything. I love being a comm major. Nothing I love more in this world. Could never see another career path for myself. Okay, I'm currently in the airport, but I wanted to preface with some things that I feel like was kind of like, it doesn't really make sense if you just watch the video without this clip. I kind of jump into talking about Virginia Tech versus Charleston. That's because when I found out I had to go to college, I was deciding between Virginia Tech and College of Charleston. So those were my two options. I also toured FSU, but I didn't really see myself there at the time. As well as I pay completely for my own tuition, and I have ever since I started going to college, and so I think that plays a huge factor in this as well, but I never like explicitly said that, so yeah. So really the only differences between Virginia Tech and Charleston in my eyes was Virginia Tech had a football team which Charleston does not, which is a little bit of a downside. But then I looked at Virginia Tech's campus compared to Charleston's campus and just like the weather all around. And Tech is just very like kind of prison-y and just gets freezing cold there. It just seemed like a better fit for me to be at Charleston. Everything's just so beachy, going to the beach, going to Darties, everything about Charleston I'm just so obsessed with, and I'm kind of like making this video to advocate for, not advocate, sorry, but to literally convince people to go to Charleston because I'm leaving, and I know some people are like we should gatekeep Charleston, but I think that the more the merrier. Like everybody should go to Charleston, and I always feel bad for people who go to different colleges because can't compete where you can't compare. When I decided I wanted to go to Charleston, I moved in with my boyfriend and lived with my boyfriend my senior year of high school. So my parents moved down to Charleston and started building a house so that I would get in-state tuition because there's no way I would be able to afford paying out of state. In-state is a stretch and has been such a difficult price to pay, but it has been doable. That's the number one thing I would suggest is doing in-state if at all possible, whether that's like using someone's address or you know, whatever you have to do. In-state is just the biggest question. I guess I'll just go ahead and, because this is just on my mind. The biggest question I get asked is about the ratio. At Charleston, it's 66% female and 34% male, which if you look at those side by side, that's a pretty drastic difference. Coming into Charleston, I never really, like that wasn't a big factor for me because I came into college wanting to be single and not mess around with a lot of boys. After experiencing and living through the boys, the male to female ratio, I would say that the only thing I really think it affects is the males' egos because, oh my good lord. At Charleston, I would say majority of the men you see on the street are bi or gay. The ones who are left that are straight have the biggest head on their shoulders ever, because if you think about it, for like every male there's like 6 girls on him at that specific time. And something I've also noticed is like my friend group passes around guys like none other. A guy will sleep with one of my friends, next week sleeps with a different one. Basically, to answer the question about the ratio, it's never directly affected me. It is such a tricky question because so much goes into it. Like if you go to a frat party, there is gonna be 10 blonde girls on one guy. So I think being a brunette, I have a little bit more of a chance, but obviously not enough of a chance because I'm still single. As for sororities and frats, like, do you need to be in one to party, to have fun? Absolutely not. I cannot speak for frats because I'm not really sure how that works. I never rushed, even though being in a sorority was like my biggest dream growing up as a little girl. I decided not to rush in the end, just financially I didn't have enough money. Also, when I was going into college, it was during COVID, and COVID affected sorority and rushing so much. The first 2 years, like the past 2 years of being in a sorority, all of my friends who were in one would agree that it just wasn't worth it. The amount of money they were paying to have no benefits, like no date, I think they had like a few date parties, but overall, like, where is that money going? No one knows. As for like date parties and stuff, all of my friends are in either Zeta or Tri-Delta. I don't know, Tri-Delta, Tri-Del, I don't know anything about sororities, but anything that they, like their events, anything sorority based, my friends have always been lovely enough to invite me. Like, there was a Zeta date party about a month ago, and one of my friends just brought another one of our friends who wasn't in Zeta, and guys, let me tell you, okay, so say hypothetically I have 10 friends who are in a sorority, right? I would say only one of my friends, like, I feel like my roommate's the only one who loves her sorority, and I would say 5 of them, no, maybe like 4 of them dropped their sorority completely during the semester. They don't have to be in one to have a good party life, as well as I don't think it's worth it at all. I don't know, just from seeing it from an outsider point of view, I went to all the same events as them, didn't pay a penny. The only thing I feel like I was really missing out on was the merch. Like, I wanted sorority merch so bad and was not able to get any, so that did suck. The class sizes are immaculate, amazing. Okay, one of these comments says, just don't live in a residence hall and you're solid. So I've never lived in a residence hall or a dorm. I wanted to live in one so bad, but COVID took that away from me. So I lived in one house for 2 years, and now I'm living in a different house for my last year. Finding a house on campus or near close to campus is going to be very pricey. I would say 1K a month is like the lowest you would be able to get, and it's probably going to be not a good house. Like, my house, guys, I pay $1,000 a month. It's a 2-bedroom. There's no washer, no dryer, no dishwasher. The shower is so tiny you can only stand up, and like when you're shaving your legs, I have to have my leg all the way up in the air like that. It's just, I should not be paying $1,000 for what I live in, but the reality is in Charleston, like, that's what you're getting because it's on a peninsula, so there's only limited places for people to live. I don't know, because I've heard equally shitty stuff about people living in houses. Like, one of my friends was living in a house and they had horrible mold. Like, I have black mold in my house, but theirs was like super contagious, horribly bad, just not livable. So the school had her move out of her house and into the dorms, and she said the dorms were super disgusting when she lived there. And then she ended up moving off the peninsula, and now she is living in West Ashley, which is just like a 15-minute drive away, which is not far. And I would definitely recommend just living either in West Ashley or Mount Pleasant, one of the surrounding areas. The reason I didn't want to do that, and I could see another student not wanting to do that, is because honestly, having the college campus in the middle of the city is the best part about Charleston. Being able to get off campus, go to get drinks with your friends, go to get food, go to get dinner, go to the shops in between classes. Like, shopping in between classes is one of my top 5 favorite things about Charleston. I finished class, I'm feeling depressed about the grade I just got, buy myself something nice. Or if I'm celebrating a good grade, because that's also good, you could celebrate by buying yourself something nice. Just being able to walk everywhere, you really don't need a car. I use my car probably just once a week to get groceries. Other than that, lickety split. Food on campus. I don't know what to say about this. There's so many restaurants. I've never had like a dining plan. There's this one restaurant called City Bistro, I think. Everyone always talks about it. I've never been. Other than that, OCMP, which is like our off-campus meal plan, goes a really far way, and there's so many restaurants you can use that at. And life hack, if you get the OCMP, I'm assuming a lot of people's parents pay for their meal plans, unlike mine. If you're like me and you pay for your own meal plan, pussy power. What was I even saying? Your OCMP, like your off-campus meal plan card, will work at the convenience stores on the corner, so you could buy other things besides food. Next question. Definitely look up where your professors are on the Rate My Professor scale, because let me tell you, I never have before. I never thought it was necessary. I've always had really good professors until last semester. One of my professors, he came from Poland, or I think that's where he had been teaching previously. He didn't know how to use any technology, which was fine, but this is how he would lecture, which was something I just was not used to. He would put a picture up of the philosopher, whoever he was talking about, on the screen, and then he would just talk for the entire class, and like everybody in the class would just take notes, blah, 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 blah. And then he would give us an exam, one of 3 exams, that would be all paper pencil, no word bank, no multiple choice. Like every single test was just sitting there racking my brain trying to think of a single word to put on the paper. No words ever came, guys. No words ever came. Then later I look at the Rate My Professor, has a horribly low rating, and yeah, I don't know, just definitely look at that. Same with academic advisors. My advisor initially screwed me over so much, and that's why I'm taking an extra year, because I was supposed to graduate with only 2 years of college, but now I'm taking 3, which wasn't the plan, wasn't the goal, but everything happens for a reason, it's fine. Basically, my advisor didn't tell me that I had to have the classes in a specific order, so I missed out on taking one of the classes that I had to take to have me in the right order, and so now I had to take an entire another year of college because I wasn't taking them in the right order. So that being said, I switched my advisor and I love my new one. So just really be on top of who your advisor is and keep in contact with them and in touch with them, and reach out to them first, because majority of the time they will not reach out to you first. And someone said, might be pretty, but it's bound to give you trauma. I haven't had any trauma yet. Okay, so I recently lost my Cougar card, which is the card you use to get into the Addlestone Library. And someone commented, I've never felt I would go to the library, but I lost my Cougar card more. I have paid the college like $200 in Cougar card replacement. So when you lose your Cougar card, if you wanted to go to the library, you would have to get it replaced. I've never had to do that, but apparently it's super expensive. And as for the library, really quickly, the Addlestone Library is lit. It is just lit. It has an outside area, which is so much fun. Starbucks, has a little water fountain, has a little park you can lay out in the sun. Like, that's the best part. The weather in Charleston is just always so beautiful. So studying outside is always an option and convenient. But even the inside of the library, they did it up this year a lot because they were doing a lot of construction. So nice, very up to date, very modern. I'm very excited to go back and see what it looks like. Have I ever done that much work in the library? No, but I have walked around it many times, and I do love just taking a little stroll in the library. Okay, this is just funny. Someone commented on the TikTok I made and said, my campus looks like a Call of Duty map, and I was shitting myself to that comment. I thought that was so funny. I wish Charleston could pay me for convincing people to go there, because I have had a lot of people come up to me on campus and be like, I've seen your videos, like you're the reason I wanted to come here. And that is like my favorite thing ever. I only have 1 semester left on campus, so if you see me, say something. Literally like yank me from behind, yogging me to the ground, and just be like, hey girl, let's go get drinks after class. Or let's go shopping in between class, like anything. Oh, only thing missing is a football stadium. I have never once recognized the lack thereof of a football field stadium. As I said, I wanted to go to Virginia Tech, so I usually will drive up for like 2 or 3 football games at Virginia Tech, and that way I get to just like party and hang out with my friends over there, which is a lot of fun. But honestly, at Charleston, you don't notice that there's no team. I would say our basketball team is really popular. We were undefeated this season, which was amazing. As well as like every single Saturday, there's a darty. A darty is a parking lot party, day party, but it's in a parking lot because that's usually the best place to be hidden from the cops, I guess. Even though the cops know like all of the houses that are the main party houses, the frat houses. When I first got my serving job, I obviously not anymore, but when I first got it, I asked off every single Saturday so that I could darty, and I have 0 regrets. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching this video. If you are going to Charleston in the future, I cannot wait to see you there. I'll probably see you on the streets one day or another. It's a pretty small school. And if you just are thinking about it, just keep thinking about it. If you want to be more influenced, follow me on all my other socials, especially my TikTok. That's where I put the most hard work and dedication in. Yeah. Love you guys.